Are you guys going to create the equivalent of Garth Brooks as a serial killer?
There you go. Oh my God.
Jelly Roll's a psyop.
Yeah. Jelly Roll's a psyop.
Maybe we'll just
Those
use
are
this
all temporary
podcast
tattoos.
to push a bunch of baseless conspiracy theories.
One thing I wanted to ask you about
funny.
as well was you've gotten the chance to open for a ton of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Of all of those, I mean, like, from Lynyrd Skynyrd to 38 Special to Hank Williams Jr., like the list goes on and on. What are the ones that stick out for you as the big ones?
Well, those were definitely like the biggest. Like I was hooked up. So it's funny. I mean, obviously with the biz, everyone's like, oh, how does this happen? It's like, well, I got with a huge booking agent and had networked enough and gotten to know some of the management people and booking agents of some of those acts. Mm-hmm. And if you just know the right people, getting some of those support slots can happen, if you have some stuff going on. So I was just super lucky. And actually Lynyrd Skynyrd's management was like considering managing me at the time. They ended up not, but they let me open a bunch of shows for them for a little while. And I mean, Lynyrd Skynyrd is like the hat that I normally wear when I'm not wearing headphones is like looks like Ronnie Van Zant's hat. So
come on, dude, that's
I'm
fucking cool.
I'm a huge Skynyrd fan. I actually have like a show that we do where we do like an hour of my stuff, take a little break, come back out and do like a Skynyrd tribute set with my band. So like I'm a huge Skynyrd fan. That was like really the end all be all for me, getting to play some shows with them. And they were all before Gary Rossington passed away, who was one of the only surviving members that like original members. And they're still touring with Johnny and Ricky Medlock, who was like in an original lineup of the band. So there, but anyway, that was amazing. Hank Jr., I got to do a ton of shows with Hank Jr. So sick. Like one of the first times I ever opened for him. I think we did like a casino in Iowa. It was like a big outdoor, like kind of amphitheater vibe. And like I got in the back of the meet and greet line with him and a guy who was playing in my band at the time, who's now a huge artist named Hardy. So we're standing in the back of the meet and greet line and we get up to the front. And his like tour manager was like, hey, these guys just opened for you. And this was like, Hank's band might have already been on stage, like playing music. Like he was like needing to get rushed onto stage. And he was like, oh, how was the show, boys? We're like, crowd's sick. And he was like, man, Hank Jr. got the best fans in the world. Like talking about himself in third person was so funny. And we're like, hell yeah, Hank, you sure do. And he was like, yeah, man, we played last night in Illinois or something. He goes, it was raining. And, the promoter was worried that nobody was going to show up. And he goes, it started to rain. More people show up. It's like they were growing out of the ground. I was like, hell yeah, Hank, you're a freaking like legend, dude. Right there. Yeah, it was amazing, dude. We got our picture with him. I still got it somewhere. And it was like, my drummer was like still getting his drums off the stage. He like was so mad that he didn't get in that picture. I felt really bad. But I was like, it was either that exact moment or it wasn't going to happen. So, and I've got to meet him a couple other times, like just from opening with him. He's a character. I mean, I can't imagine the life that dude's lived and not being a character. But that was really cool. I don't know. And a ton of people in the country genre, like most of the people that are famous, I've either written a song with or gotten to open for at a certain point. Some of my favorites, Gary Allan was like one of the coolest guys ever. I'm a huge fan of his. And then like on some of those Skynyrd shows, like Cheap Trick was on some of those, and they were like so freaking cool.
That's killer. That's really
I'm brain
awesome.
farting on the guitar player's name, Rick Nielsen. My drummer was walking by him as he was like warming up or something. He's like, hey dude, come check this guitar out. And like they were just everyone was cool. And the 38 Special dudes got to do a bunch of shows with them, and they're really cool. So I don't know. That was like a really cool time. I'm at a point where like it's funny because those opening shows, they just pay so poorly that it's like so hard to do unless you can like eat cash or be like just used to being poor and have your band not get paid very much. I feel like I'm just like a little too old to like take $500 openers in a post-COVID world. A lot of those gigs pay like maybe $1,000. So that was a really cool point in my life where I just found a way to make it work, and I guess I had the up down thing, and around a lot of the times that those were happening, so I had like a way to like pay to maybe lose some money or whatever on some of those gigs, and they were great opportunities and an absolute blast. Unfortunately, I don't do a ton of those anymore, but I'm also not with that huge booking agency anymore that put me on a lot of those. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
I got some fun pictures and stories from that. A lot of those bands when they get that old, they're like. they're not like hanging out or they're not like, hey,
Yeah.
we're like partying after the show. Come
Yeah.
hang. They're like, dude, we're going to sleep on the bus. So like there wasn't a lot of like hanging out with them, which was like would have been cool. You know what I mean? But
still, just the fact that you got to do that is
getting to do
awesome.
some amphitheaters and stuff. Like we did one with Skynyrd where we like it was like a private. It was like their tour. It was their unofficial tour kickoff, and it was a private party for Zaxby's Chicken, which was just hilarious.
That
it was just
is
it was just so funny. And like we're like, you know, it was a funny audience to play for because it was like all like the management arms of like Zaxby's Chicken, and they were really cool. I mean, you know, it's just funny just to think about some of that stuff. But yeah, man, it's been a pretty crazy little. Gotten to do some things that like I always jokingly say that like 12-year-old me would be like shitting his pants at the things that I've like gotten to be able to do, and like am just like so, you know, like looking back
It's
now
all
I'm like
perspective,
you know, I'm always looking for the next thing, but I'm like, dude, I've done some pretty sweet stuff. So
it's all
I'm very
perspective.
lucky. Yeah, definitely a lot of perspective.
Hey, if you like that clip, give us a follow. You can also follow our main channel where we have the full podcast up there as well as performances from each guest.